but anyway, Edinger is talking about numinous experiences and how the issue with modern man is that we must connect with the numinous again. Okay, in other words, with the God image. Okay, he like Jung and like me says, I know nothing about metaphysical God. Okay, I know about the God image and the religious image within the psyche. Okay, and so, and that and religion comes from our reflecting upon the numinous that is in the psyche. And so Jung and all these guys interpreted the Bible in terms of psychological understanding, right? And so, you know, Edinger says in this first lecture, you know, in 1912, Jung started this experience with the God image, and that's what the Red Book is. And it's an act of imagination where he just connected with the numinous and held on for dear life. Now, what he did say is, and you need to be aware of this, is that when you connect with the collective unconscious, you have to keep control of it, okay? Because anything can happen. It can be both a very good thing and it can destroy your life. Okay.
And turn you into a Nazi.
It can turn you into a Nazi, that's right, or it could turn you into, you know, a total philanderer who's you know, a polygamous son of a bitch, and you know, who keeps 5 wives around the place and so on. And
I've already got 4. I can one more.
Maybe I have to get another job, John. One more job.
okay, well, look, I can tell you from experience that it can, if you don't know these things, your psyche can get the better of you. And, you know, it's why, you know, when I finished with my novel, I had to put it away for 20 years because I didn't know what the hell was going on, what it meant, anything. Now I know, and now I can explain it, and now I'm not afraid to put it out to the public, but at the time it was whoa, I don't think I shut that down entirely for a long while.
Strictly speaking, that was an encounter with your collective unconscious, which was the anima, correct?
Yeah.
A specific part of the collective unconscious.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think you had control of it, or you
I didn't
think it
have
was
control
barely?
of it. I had no control of it.
Okay.
You didn't really want control, did you?
No, and I think a lot of writers, you know, fiction writers, novelists, do that, and I think that, you know, a lot of artists do that, and you know, it's why a lot of artists go off the deep end with drugs and alcohol
Because it gets too far away from them.
well, they lose control or they can't get back to it.
Well, they're also trying to enhance the letting go part of it, and
Right.
and be let themselves
Like, let it.
individuate. Except they're allowing too much. They're letting too much go to where it's. But
They're not bringing it into consciousness. They're just letting it flow through them
right.
Like
without.
Conduit?
Yeah, they're opening the conduit without bringing it into consciousness, really. Okay, if you asked Henry Miller, you know, where he got Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, it obviously came from there. Okay, but you know, and even on Ass Nin, also, I mean, it all came from there.
Well, it's that journaling, because it just reminded me of Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, and if you follow her program and you're doing that every week, it's like something will just like inside of you. It's
They fit it into a structure of some kind.
right. I mean, it is obviously within the weeks and its themes, but it does.
Yeah, it can take off. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, if you want to write a best-selling novel, it's not a bad way to go. But on the other hand, you have to know what you're doing, right? And you don't want to lose it by being on drugs or alcohol.
Did you have
Because-
repercussions from writing your novel?
No, I mean,
so you were aware afterward that you had to sort of get back to reality,
Or you
right?
shut it off.
I shut it off, okay, because it scared the bejesus out of me. And I was into
Did you
Jung.
ever want to pick it up again?
That novel, I keep thinking about it. You know, it's still there in my shadow, and it still is a psychic energy thingy that, you know, I could do a couple of sequels to this, and I've actually modeled them out in my mind,
Wow.
you know, but then, you know, then I remember Jung's dictum that, you know, your psyche is primitive. You know, your psyche is based on 2 million years of development, or a billion years of development. And it doesn't have to live in the 21st century. It doesn't have to be a grandfather. It doesn't have to be, you know, and as I told you, you're, you know, model 1953, I'm model 1946. And so my psyche hasn't got anything new in it since 1946. And, you know, and then, let's see, it's got my father from 22 and my grandfather from 1900 as the last two, you know, hops back. They didn't bring anything new into it. So everything that's coming out of my psyche, okay, it gets a patina, you know, the style of the clothes changes because of what's happening in the conscious world, but the things that are happening are primitive.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Jung is that he shows us how much we're at the little tip of the iceberg, and so much is underneath.
Well, and this is what Edinger is saying in this audio, which is, you know, connecting to the collective unconscious is a numinous experience. It is numinous. It's an experience of God, and the way you do it is by individuating, and the way you find how to do that is to find the things you love and hate and reflect upon them. Okay, but when you find the things that you hate, maybe it'll be that you love them. Okay, you know, if the president of the United States said, geez, I would like to grab a woman's pussy, and all of a sudden, and this is what's happened now, by the way, okay, now there are going to be a lot of people who think it's a good idea to grab women in their private parts, okay, because if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
I'd be scared to do it to some women I knew in Chicago.
I was gonna say, if you're
Well,
talking
no,
about broken
you know,
arms, I don't know,
absolutely,
I think it's a good
but
idea,
you know, but
because it's
frankly, Bill,
Yeah,
I'm frankly shocked by what I've seen in the political arena
No.
for the last 15 years,
Yeah.
where in the red states, they won't put any stops on these football players. You know, rape a girl under the grandstands, no problem.
You know, I was out of the country for a few years. You know, it used to be when you thought Reds, you thought communists. And I come back and now the red states are the Republicans.
Well, that's because they flipped. It used to be, this is what I read, that it used to be the
Got the blinky.
Republicans were the blue, the Democrats were the red, and it switched.
Yeah, that's an Antiodromia, and it's on again, by the way.
Huh.
I mean, Trump is gonna. You wait. This is gonna be a fascinating time because
So it's the old Chinese curse, right?
Exactly, man. You live in interesting times.
Right.